Hello everyone. So today I wanted to do a comparison video of the new Zendo palette, which is right over here. These are all the palettes that you guys had asked me to pull out to do any comparison swatches of. So that's what I'm going to do today. I know I have seen a lot of people post already their reviews on this palette. I don't necessarily want to do a full review because I already know I'm going to love this palette. I know I already love the formula. I know I already enjoy this color story. So for me, I'd rather do get ready with me's or different kind of videos using this palette instead of actually doing a review. I thought it'd be more helpful if you guys saw a comparison to other palettes to see if this is even worth you purchasing or spending the large ticket amount for if you already own other things that are similar. So I thought that would be the best way to showcase this new palette. And I hope this is helpful for some of you guys. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do this palette compared to other palettes. So that way we'll do one by one. And then that way you guys can see if it is worth it for you guys or not. If that's something that interests you, stay tuned. If you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a Dash Project Pan. If that is something that interests you, subscribe, join us. And now let's get on with the comparison. Okay, so we are going to start off with these two palettes right over here. This is the new Zendo palette. If you have not seen, I'm trying not to blind you guys. If you haven't seen it, here it is right here. It is gorgeous, you guys. This is everything that I was hoping the Circo Loco was. I don't know if anybody mentioned, but I don't know where Natasha Denona is, but Circo Loco is actually in Spanish. It means crazy circus. So that palette does look like a circus to me. But I was hoping that that palette was this. This to me is amazing. I'm wearing this palette today. I'm actually wearing this shadow, this shadow, this shadow, this shadow, and this one. I have posted a picture of it on my Insta stories. I haven't got a chance to play around with these or these blues right over here, but I will be more than happy to share that as well with you guys on my Instagram and of course another video. So just really quick, a rundown of this just by looking at it and playing around with it only for one day, you guys. Don't quote me on any of these, but this is just from knowing her formula and knowing so many palettes. This palette is a mixture of warm and cool tones, which I love. I love the fact that you're getting color, but it's not out there where I feel like if you wanted to incorporate color in your everyday looks or even for work that really is an appropriate color like other ones, this is perfect because these colors are still wearable as far as acceptable in the workforce. I feel like these are awesome. Like these greens are amazing. They are not really sticking out there where you're going to look like you have bright shades on your eyes. I think that this is her best colorful palette because I feel like it's very versatile. You're getting warm, cool, you're getting enough shimmers, mattes to take it different ways. And I feel like you can definitely use this for the workforce. Even if you're in an office or something, this would be perfect. All right, I zoom you guys in a little bit. I tried. It's just, I never have luck when it comes to filming. I figured today was not a day I was going to get landscaping, but instead I got jets, fighter jets flying over my house. So bear with me while I try to get this done. All right, so we're going to go with these two, as I mentioned earlier. The similarity between these two palettes is this palette also gives you warm and cool tone just as much as this one gives you warm and cool tone. You might see a little bit of variety as far as the neutrals go. I'm trying not to blind you, so I'm going to keep this up like this. This shadow right here called Balance from Natasha Denona is a gorgeous shade. I really like that one. I don't really see anything similar. It would probably be a mixture of this one and this one put together, because if you see this one, Ghost Town, it's definitely a lot more orangey red. This one has like yellow to it. This one has more red to it. So those are the two closest that I would see as far as neutrals go. When it comes to the blues, you're probably looking at this blue and this one. The only difference is this is a matte. Here it's a matte. See how, I don't like how this one swatches, but it does work nice on the eye. That is a matte, and this one in Equilibrium is a shimmer. So we're gonna put it right next to it. Yeah, this one's a lot deeper gray blue, and this one's a lot more turquoise blue. So you have those two right there. Any other similar shades? Next, I see this gold right here in Hold'em from Urban Decay. This one isn't as opaque, I feel like. But there it is right there. And then you're probably thinking this one in Luster. This one is a lot more yellow. The one in the Natasha Denona is a lot more yellow. This one has a lot more deepness to it. But they're very similar. You might be able to see it on camera. The Urban Decay has a lot more depth to it than the Natasha Denona. In person, I can see a slight difference, but on the eye, I'm pretty sure it'll look the same. Maybe this one right here in the shade Whiskey. And then the other shade that I would consider is Mindful. This one looks like it's a satin. It's not fully on matte, but let's see. Oh, that one has a lot more red to it. This one, this orange one, kind of looks like this one, doesn't it? I would have never guessed. So Ghost Town and Mindful. These two swatches don't really look alike, but put together, yeah, look at that. They're almost. The one from, this one's from Natasha Denona right here, the Mindful. That has a little bit more red to it. This one has a little bit more orange. But yeah, those two are almost the same. So the gold and the browns over here. Huh. Oh, forgot one more shade. Bud. Bud here. Let's put Bud right over here. And Flow. Flow, my goodness, has more blue and Bud has more green. I don't know if you guys can tell that, but this one from the Urban Decay has green to it, and then Flow from the Natasha Denona has more blue. So these are definitely different. Depending on what you use to work with it, you might be able to pull one over the other. So I think that's it, you guys. Those are the swatches of both the Urban Decay Wild West and the Natasha Denona Zendo. This is what you're going to get. It depends on what you're looking for. One has more color than the other, but as far as the standard shades, you could probably dupe most of them depending on which way or which one you prefer. All right, up next we have the Natasha Denona bronze palette and then the Zendo palette. I had to put these here so I can actually see them. So I'm covering the mirrors with both of these. Look how my hands are sweaty because it's hot in here. All right, so we're gonna see what we have that are similar in both. I do see some more reds in here, like for instance, this one in Magma from the, this one's from the Sunrise. Let me zoom you guys in. So this one is from the Sunrise palette. It's more of a brown red than it is a red red. And then Vigor. See, this one is definitely more red. High Degree from the Sunrise is also more, has more brown to it. Even more purple. Looks purple on camera, but it's definitely more red brown. Anything else that would look similar to these? I don't think these would have any similarities. I think that's it for these guys. I do see some similarities as far as the neutrals go. Here, this one in Suntan in the bronze. Here may look like Balance from Zenda. Yeah, very similar. I feel like the one from the Sunrise is a little bit more brown base, and this one it's a little bit lighter, but they are very similar. And on the eyes, as on the crease, I think that you could pull those two off definitely. This one in Sense from the Zendo palette, I feel like this one has brown purple to it. So if you're looking at this one from the Sunrise palette, it's a little bit more purple based though. These two might look similar. This one is from the Zendo palette, and this is Sense, and this one is High Degree from the bronze palette. Those two are very, very similar. And the golds, I would say, Luster and True Bronze. One's a little bit more yellow gold than the other. So this one is Luster and this one is True Bronze. Yeah. This one's a little bit different as far as the formula goes. This looks like it has more sparkle to it. True Bronze from the bronze palette. And then this one is Luster from Zendo. This has a lot more yellow to it. Anything else that I see between these two? You might think that this one in Aura, which is like a pinky reddish tone. And then I have this one in Bliss from the bronze. There goes another jet. Oh goodness, I just can't catch a break whenever I film. These are different. This one's a lot more peachy. This one's a lot more pink gold. This one's definitely a lot more peachy orange. So those two are different. I see that this one in Yama, this one has some sort of dimension to it. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera. It's like a bronzy that has like a green shift to it. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to show you guys on here because you might think that this is a dupe for one in, can you see that? It's like a weird shift to it. This one in Palladium, I think. See, that's way too dark. In the bronze palette, this one's very unique. This shadow right here is very, very unique and it's cool on the eyes. It has like a shifting, it's like peach on one end, then I see a little bit of gold green. It's really, really pretty. That's very unique and I don't think there is a dupable shade in here for it. I think that might be it, you guys. Maybe even Tranquil and Bliss. These are different as well. Let me put these over here. See? This one is a lot more pink, like pinky pink. And then this one's rosy. Yeah, they're different. All right, you guys, so here are all the swatches of both of these. As you guys can see, I still feel like there are similarities, but you're still getting differences. And again, in this one, you're getting these greens and blues that I have yet to even find too many dupes. Only I found Flow in the Wild Wild West and maybe Equilibrium, those two. But these greens over here, I still have yet to find one. So if you have the bronze and you feel like you don't need it because these are the shades you really want, then don't go for this one because this one has more color to it. Okay, so let's move on to the Zendo and the Sunrise palette. This one is a lot more warm toned. That's the first difference between both of them. Just like the bronze is a lot bronzier, a lot more neutral based and warmer. This one's also a lot warmer. So there might be a few overlapping shades, but not by much, I don't think. So this red one in Vigor, and if you're looking at this one in Clove, that one's burgundy. Here, so we'll give you Vigor here so you guys can see that one. That one doesn't swatch as well. Here is Clove from the Sunrise palette, and then the other shade you might be thinking is Jasper here. This orange one, it's too orange based to be with that one. Glory might be another one you're thinking of, but I feel like this is more like magenta. So that one might not be it. What is it? Phlox, I think that's one. This one's shinier. This one has the base, but this has gold to it and it's shimmerier. Like it has a shimmery finish to it. It's not super matte here. So this might go with this one if you like it, but this one still has a little bit of a dimension to it to compare both of them. Anything else that you guys see on here? This neutral is different from this neutral, so I really can't compare those. This one in Yama, again, it's a dimensional shadow, and Laurel. They're very, very different. So here is Yama and here is Laurel. This just has a shift to it. It's a really cool shift. And this one's a lot lighter, so I don't think that one would be an exact dupe or close to it because of the dimension to it. Dun, 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 dun. Anything else? Now, you know what? This one in Calm And then this shade in the Sunrise palette is Morgan. Let's see these, Calm and Morgan. Calm seems to be, sorry, there they go again. This one's a lot more orangey, the one in the Sunrise, and this one's a lot more pale in comparison. This one's a lot deeper. This one still has like a little bit of more of a white base to it than this one. This one has more of a warmer brown base, but they are similar. What else do we got here? I'm going to ignore those jets, guys, because they keep flying back and forth. They must be doing some sort of testing. Driving me crazy. Anyway, this color in Aura from Zendo is that peachy orange, and then this one in Azalea. These might be similar. So here is Aura from Zendo and Azalea. Oh, this one's a lot more orange. So this one's a lot more orange, and this one's a lot deeper. It's like this one has more red to it, and this one has more gold. And this one's from the Sunrise, and this is from Zendo. So they're similar, and the finishes are totally different. This one's a lot more metallic than Aura from Zendo. So even the finishes are different. And let's see, what else do we got? I think that might be it. Even that gold, no. I still have yet to touch any of these right over here. This one's completely warm base. So you guys, if you like the warm, colorful shades, this is really nice. If you like the mixture of this one, go with the Zendo. So here's what we came up with so far with these. You see that we're getting a lot of this warmer orangey red tones in here. Not exactly, but if that's something that interests you and you have this one and you don't care for this section over here, then stick with the Sunrise palette and you are set to go. Here is my Metropolis palette, and this is my Zendo palette. As you guys obviously can see, this one is the warm tone palette. This one's the mixture of the cool and warm, and I feel like this is where we're going to find very similar shades to the green and your brighter, warmer shades, not necessarily the cooler tones. I honestly, if you love this color scheme or like warm color, like deep shades, this is the best bang for your buck because of how many shadows you get and the quality and the colors. This is by far, I wish you would do more like this one. So let's get to the swatching, shall we? So we're going to start off over here. Mindful. It is a satin finish. It is not matte. I'm sorry, my fingers are stained. This shadow, I don't know the names because the flap is over here, but these two would be the first one I would say. So here is Mindful, and this one, just bear in mind that this shadow right here is like a cream to powder in the Zendo, and so is this one. These two are exactly the same formula where it's a cream to powder. You see how like it glides on my finger? And look how much pigment I still have. These are cream to powder. I feel like these two are almost identical. The only difference is the one from the Metropolis, a little bit more darker brown, and this one has more warm tone to it in the Zendo palette. Now, Aura here, I would say, is probably closer to this shade right here. I feel like the Aura is a lot more orange. So here is Aura, yeah. And then this shadow is a lot more bronzy. So yeah, this one's a lot orangey and this one, but they're very similar even in finish. So these two are pretty similar. We might be getting somewhere with this palette, you guys. All right, this color in Sense is more of a purple based over here. This one is a lot more brown, so I wouldn't say that. See this one? No, I don't think there's an exact dupe of this one. Luster, I would say, is like this shade right here, but this one's like flaky. See, there's a difference between the formula in these. So this one's Luster, it's a lot smoother, and this one is like straight up foiled. See the difference? They have the same undertones. Well, actually, this one's a lot more bronzy, deeper gold, and this one's again more yellow gold. But those are those two. The red, there is no matte red in Vigor, but you do have this red. which is the shimmery shade of it. So Vigor, as you guys know, this one's a lot drier, so you have to build that one up. And again, that's like the Sunrise one. Sunrise has a very similar shade to that, where this has like a gold undertone to it. So, yeah, this is brighter. You can see this one, the Vigor is a lot deeper in its red. Let's move on to the next one. Tranquil, I don't see anything here that's very similar. Balance, this one's too mustard yellow for it. So Balance, I don't see anything exactly either. Reef, nope. Calm, no. This blue shade, no. Equilibrium, we established that it's more of like a gray blue. See, that's a gray blue. And this shadow is a lot more turquoisey. Wow. See that? Completely different from one another. That is a difference, but you're in the sort of in the same color family. We established that this one is a duochrome, and you're not going to find it here. This Mantra might be the matte version of this one. See, this one still has more green to it. This one still has more green to it. So I don't know. I don't know, you guys, but it is semi-similar. This one in Breathe is not even close. Zell, I love Zell. Zell's like a brown green. It's a drier formula, as you guys can see. So it's not like Mindful. So here is Zell. Let's do this shade right here. I don't know what it's called. This has a lot more green to it. You guys can see this is more gray green. And then if you're curious about this one over here, still, this is more gray green. Let me see if I can get a really good swatch of this. Nope, this is a lot drier, but it does blend out nice on the eyes because I did use this one. See, these are different. Very different. I think we went through the whole palette, you guys. Yeah. All right, so this is what we came up with this one. Some shades are similar, but the finishes are different, or the undertones. The only exact ones I feel like were almost these two. Even in the formula, I feel like these two right here. Other than that, you're getting a little bit of difference in both. So if you have the Metropolis, you could probably skip out on the Zendo. If you're specifically going for these greens here, if you don't like these greens, I actually prefer the greens in here. I love these greens in here. These are my jam. These are a lot more cooler in tone. So if you like the cooler tones, go with this one. But these are gorgeous in the warmer tones. So there you guys have it. Now these two, as I mentioned, are the difference between both of these is the fact that this is all warmer toned. This one's cool and warm, not necessarily just one side or the other. Okay, you guys, so here is the star of the show right over here. As you guys saw overall, there wasn't an exact overlap as far as the shadows go. If you were comparing it to the neutrals, if you like the neutrals, I would either go with if you have the Sunrise palette or this bronze palette, you might, if you don't mind the cooler section. If you're going for the warmer section, just stick with the bronze palette. If you want more of the neutrals with a little bit of the color, go with the Wild West one. If you don't like the cooler tones, but you like these greens, I would say go with the Metropolis if you have it. And then the Sunrise one, it's more brighter. It's brighter. I don't know why more it's brighter and warmer than this. You're only getting the overlap of this section over here, like this area over here for the Sunrise palette. So you're getting a little bit of everything out of here. You're not getting exactly the same. Out of all the shadows in the Zendo, I feel like Yama is the most unique one out of the whole bunch, and none of these palettes have it. This formula over here for this shadow is awesome, which you would find here, here, and here, where it's that cream to powder. It's amazing. I Love this one because you're getting the warmer and the cooler tones just like you're getting in here. If this is more of your jam for warmer, cooler tones, I would go with the Wild West, and you don't need so much color if that's what you're going for. These three, 1, 2, and 3, are the warmest ones overall. So if you don't like warm tones, stay away from these three and stick with one of these two. But there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it was helpful. I'm sorry about the jets. I tried to do the zooming in and zooming out to really get a feel for this. It's been a long time since I've done an overhead video using my actual camera, not my phone. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comment section if you are interested in this Zendo palette, if you saw anything that was similar, which palette did you prefer the most versus this one, if this is something you're going to go for. I'm going to continue to use this palette and show you guys looks on my Instagram as well as in videos. I'll probably use them and get ready with me so you guys can see different variety of looks. I am having fun with this palette. I love the formula of the Natasha Denona shadows, so I was all about this, especially since it's a smaller one. I don't necessarily need a huge palette, but I love it. I love it. So I hope this was helpful, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll put more videos on the screen for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.